If you opened up Pokemon Go today, you may have noticed that there is a certain Pokemon that you may not have been familiar with up to this point. Released today, we have Galarian Farfetch'd appearing in Pokemon Go. And Galarian Farfetch'd was introduced as part of a celebration for the release of Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield's new expansion pass in the Isle of Armor. Now, in conjunction with the Isle of Armor release, there was a Pokemon Presents presentation. And in the presentation, they covered a lot of new items coming out in the Pokemon world, including some new announcements for Pokemon Go. In this video, we're going to take a look at everything that was announced in the Pokemon Presents, including some very important breaking news for Pokemon Go that's going to be occurring later this year. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the channel, trainers. My name is Oro Chris. I am your catching coach. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Glad to have you. If you are interested in Pokemon Go, competitive PvP, and basically anything Pokemon related, consider subscribing. Now, as far as the Pokemon Presents is concerned, the first item announced is a new mobile game coming to both Android as well as the Apple Store. And in this mobile game, it is called Pokemon Smile. It's clearly geared towards our younger trainers in the audience, but is a game that is intended to incentivize young children to brush their teeth more regularly. By brushing their teeth in front of the phone's camera, they are then able to catch Pokemon and help to become indoctrinated into the Pokemon training culture. The second item announced during the Pokemon Presents is a new mobile game that's going to be coming out very soon called Pokemon Cafe Mix. And this is a cafe-themed game where you're trying to feed delicious treats to Pokemon by solving different in-game puzzles. So it's a puzzle-based game. We've got to have something to do between remote raiding and while Go Battle League is down, I suppose. Probably geared towards potentially a younger audience, given the caricature of the Pokemon included, but it is not yet available in the Apple Store at least. The pre-order shows that it's going to be available starting on June 25th, I believe. So be sure to check out that. The third item announced during the Pokemon Presents. As we can see here, this looks similar to, but not quite the same as Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield. And the reason being, this is not Pokemon Sword nor Pokemon Shield. It is in fact the relaunch of Pokemon Snap. Now, I personally did not play Pokemon Snap on the N64 when it was originally out 20 long years ago, but I've heard many a fan of this game ask for this to be brought back. I kind of thought that the in-game photo taking in Pokemon Go was the intended equivalent, but clearly they have got other plans in store. This game is going to be available on the Nintendo Switch, and they tell us only that the game is currently under construction. So something to look forward to, but not out quite yet. Something that we're going to be having in the near future. Now, here's the big announcement for Pokemon Go. First, they touch upon the fact that we've had to modify Pokemon Go and the in-game experience to accommodate for having to play from home as opposed to being able to get up and go as Pokemon Go was originally intended. But the big announcement for Pokemon Go Fest. We've covered Go Fest a couple of times here on the channel. I will put links up to the videos where we've covered it, but those videos, I had predictions about the mythical Pokemon we would be seeing, and it appears that I was not correct with my predictions. We are going to be having, instead, Victini coming to, at least they're showing it with, this year's Pokemon Go Fest 2020. Now, Victini is a fire and psychic type Pokemon. We will do a deep dive into the potential meta relevance of Victini in a later video, but for now we know that the hints that we've gotten thus far for Pokemon Go Fest are leading towards Victini as the mythical Pokemon that we're probably going to be interacting with or encountering on Sunday, on day 2 of this year's Pokemon Go Fest. That is when the special research, where they're being a little bit more secretive with what we can expect for that day's activities. Again, Pokemon Go Fest tickets, they're available in the in-game shop currently, and the event is going to be July 25th and 26th. So be sure to check that out. This brings us to the final item with regard to Pokemon Go. After Victini, they show us this trailer for Pokemon Go. And if you're not familiar with this symbol, that is a Mega Evolution symbol. And they tell us it's coming sometime in 2020. Now, Mega Evolution is a special kind of temporary evolution for particular species of Pokemon. It was introduced originally in Generation 6, and the way that it was implemented in main series games is that if a Pokemon held a specific type of held item, we don't have held items in Pokemon Go, but in the main series games, Pokemon hold items. Some increase their critical hit rate, some cause them to be burned, some held items help the Pokemon heal themselves when they're hit by certain attacks. There's all kinds of held items in the main series game. We don't have that in Pokemon Go, but there were certain held items typically called the name of the particular Pokemon. This was how they limited what types of Pokemon could Mega Evolve. For example, if Aerodactyl was holding Aerodactylite, then if you triggered Mega Evolution in battle with it holding Aerodactylite, it would temporarily Mega Evolve into Mega Aerodactyl. And it would maintain that particular form for a specific period of time during that battle, and then at the conclusion of the battle, or if the Pokemon was knocked out, if it fainted, or if it was withdrawn from the battle, then it would revert to regular Aerodactyl. And in the main series games, you were limited to only one Mega Evolution per battle, and there were only certain battle circumstances where you could actually Mega Evolve. If you were battling, for example, a Pokemon in the wild, you couldn't Mega Evolve, but if you were in a trainer battle against a gym leader or something like that in certain circumstances, then you could Mega Evolve. Now, there are about 50 species of Pokemon that can Mega Evolve. Not all Pokemon species, as we've mentioned, can Mega Evolve. And when you have a Mega Evolution, the form of that Pokemon changes. As we can see here, we've got Venusaur Mega Evolving into Mega Venusaur. This particular Pokemon maintains its same typing. Grass Poison for Venusaur, and then Grass Poison for Mega Venusaur. But in certain instances, some Pokemon, when they Mega Evolve, their typing actually changes. Charizard, as we know, is a Fire and Flying type Pokemon, but Mega Charizard X drops the Flying typing and is only a Fire and Dragon type Pokemon instead. Mega Charizard Y, carrying Charizardite Y, has a typing of Fire and Flying as traditional Charizard does. We will have a deep dive into what Mega Evolution may mean for Pokemon Go in a later video. If you're interested in that type of content, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. But for here and now, just know that Mega Evolutions are coming, and this could mean a great degree of shakeup in the meta in both PvE as well as PvP. The final item announced during the Pokemon Presents was details about the DLC, the downloadable content for Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield. The first expansion pass is going to be the Isle of Armor, and that is now available on the Nintendo Switch. So if you have those games and you're interested, for $29.99, you can now gain access to the expansion pass areas. In addition, currently in Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield, you now have an opportunity to battle the legendary Pokemon Zeraora, including potentially a shiny Zeraora. And if 1 million trainers defeat Zeraora during this event, which is going to be running from June 17th to June 28th, then everyone can get a shiny Zeraora in Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield. Now again, a link to the Pokemon Presents will be in the description down below, and that will give you all the details for that in-game event for Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield. But that was everything that was covered in the Pokemon Presents announcement. A lot of exciting things coming this year, both in Pokemon generally as well as in Pokemon Go. I know that I am very excited to see how they ultimately go about implementing Mega Evolutions in game this year. But thank you for sticking around until the end of the video. Up here is going to be a video recommended by YouTube, and this video here is a video covering Zekrom and its raid counters, as well as its place in the PvE and PvP meta. If you need a solid Dragon type, Electric type, potentially Master League Pokemon,